I'm Mr. J, and today we're going to go looking at my first apartment that I ever got here in Phnom Penh, Cambodia in 2006. So I've been in Cambodia and the region since 2006. Not always Cambodia but this has been the bulk, the majority of the time I've spent has been in Cambodia. Part of this will go into the house hunting techniques I used back then, and this is the first part because there were many apartments I've lived in here in Phnom Penh and in Siem Reap and in the region too. I also lived in Bangkok where I worked and in Burma too. But this has been the mainstay, and so I figured let's start with my first place ever that I ever lived at in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. A lot of foreigners have been moving to Cambodia lately. They've been moving here more and more since, I would say, I first noticed the big waves of foreigners coming here in the mid-2000s. And now a lot of them are coming here, especially sort of yuppie types. I don't mean that in a derogatory term, flash packers, let's call it. People with kids seeking a lower overhead expatriate environment. And part of that may have to do with, part of it has to do with the cost of living increasing in the US and in the West and inflation. And part of it has to do with infrastructure here becoming better and better and more normalized. So it's that also affects the housing availability and your house hunting methodologies. So I'll talk a bit about this stuff as we walk over there, and remember, take yourself back to 2006, or was it 2005? I have to look at my old passport. It was 2005 or 2006 where I lived at these places. So let's get going, shall we? We're gonna walk across the park now. All right, so let's go. We're here in Wat Botum Park, by the way, and this is my neighborhood park. And we're going to walk this way, which is east into Wat Botum Park. I've got my glasses on now because it's really bright today. As you may perceive, might take a little look around Wat Botum Park while we're here. Again, I've been here I remember when this park it used to be dirt. We're walking now on the paved stones, what are they called? Tiles? And cement. It used to be all this reddish dirt. And that was back, I think they changed that back in 2006, something like that. I'll have to go and check. I have some old photos. But here we are. It's a lovely park. I come here and exercise every day. By the way, so I now live over there, that direction, across the park. And just to give you an idea where we're going to Street 254 over there. Those guys really increased in numbers following COVID. In 2019, because it's really right out here, all the markets were shut. I was here throughout COVID. All the markets were shut, so including the vegetable markets. So all of the sellers who were selling at the markets, they put their vegetables on carts that were attached to motorcycles and would drive around and announce their wares with a loudspeaker. But that comes with the territory. This is an unusual, it's a non-Western environment. So anyway, so I first came here in 2006. I was on a bus from Ho Chi Minh City to Bangkok to do a teacher training. Oh yeah, because it's a long bus ride. We stopped in Phnom Penh where I'd never been here before. And it was really exciting, interesting place. Yeah, that was 2005. And it was a, what do you call it? You could hop on the bus at any time and continue to Bangkok, and I delayed my trip to Bangkok to do the teacher training until the very last minute, because I really liked Phnom Penh, and it was so dynamic. It was 2005. It was really still quite raw, and finally I got on the bus, went to Bangkok, did the teacher training. But I remember there was this feeling of energy and excitement here, and I made this plan. I actually remember writing out this plan to come back here and set up, do teaching part-time, English and whatnot, and produce media, produce movies. That's my training, my background. I went to NYU Film School.
Let's cross it over, baby. So this is Street 258. And it looks like the street is really degraded from God knows what. They're building like mad here. They have been. And let me go to the very first semi-permanent place where I lived here in Phnom Penh. This is new. Wow. Almost everything here has changed since I lived here so long ago. So now we're coming up on the old guest house, the old OK Guest House. The old OK Guest House. So this was where I first stayed for several months, maybe 4 or 5 months. At the time, there was only one guest house. There were only a few guest houses in Phnom Penh, and one of them was the OK Guest House. And I wanted to stay closer to the river.
And there weren't that many guest houses here then. There's tons of guest houses and hotels now, but at the time, these guys had like a monopoly. The OK Guest House had like a monopoly on this whole street and this whole part of town. So I stayed in there for about 3 or 4 months. Did some teaching jobs while I was here. And yeah, here they are, boys. The street is very congested now. It's a lot more congested than it used to be. So that was it. That was my first place. 4 months I stayed there, approximately, or 4 to 6 months as far as I remember. And the owner of the OK Guest House was very, very protective of his territory. He didn't want other guest houses opening up in the region or in the street. So I still have good memories of the OK Guest House. But then what happened is I got tired of living in a guest house. Let's see what it looks like inside now. I remember it. I remember the old check-in desk. So I got tired of living in a guest house. You know, you want your own space. It gets a little bit annoying to have every person who's passing through want to listen to, watch TV all day or whatever, and you want to sometimes study or practice or work on your teaching materials. So then I decided, okay, let me start looking for a place. So I made the first conscious decision to look for a place. This was in 2005. And so I was staying at the OK Guest House here, and I said, well, let me start looking around on the street where I live. Here's the guy again. Lord, okay. I don't know what he's selling. I asked him. He's coming back. Look, okay. Oh, they're little cakes. He came back.
Dong? Yeah, okay. Nom Dong?
Nôm mà cao.
Nom Cao. Paim?
Em nôm mà cao tí.
Paim Ru Labing.
Em.
Paim, they're sweet. There's a few of them. Live mom with John.
Một chán 3,000.
3,000. Yeah. Speak Khmer. This is my old house. I lived here before. Just putting on the seasoning. Now what?
Không chịu đi.
1,000. Okay. Meow, meow, bow, meow. Bye bye. Wow, it's so confined. Look how tight the street is now. Well, at the time, 2005, everybody had a Toyota Corolla was the big car. Now, of course, they've all got Land Rovers, big pickup trucks. So everyone had Toyota Corolla back then, and they were smaller cars. So there's also a big Chinese contingent moving into the street.
Long time no see, brother.
Oh, you?
Yeah, before you stay over there, right?
Yeah, I stay at OK
Yeah.
Guest House.
Yeah, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Yeah, good.
Here's
no,
a guy who remembers me.
Yeah, yeah. No good, you know, it's quiet. Low season.
Belna Pneumo Way.
Maybe like, I think November or something like
Oh, okay, yeah, because this is low season. This is September right now.
that. Yeah.
Right now, allow Kim Dal, Kim Chua Rup Tort, Pteati Mui,
Okay.
and Pteati B.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking at my old houses where I lived, and I'm telling people about my experience.
Oh, yeah. Good.
So, guys, if you're here in Phnom Penh, you can come and meet with him on
Yeah,
Street
yeah,
258.
Thank you.
I can vouch for his hospitality. Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you later. I keep
Have a good
walking
day.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
Take it easy. What is it? Kaka.
Kaka, yeah.
Yeah, Kaka. All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye, bro.
Yeah. So I was walking down my street 258, which is this, and I said, well, I've got to find a place. Let me keep my eyes peeled on my own street first and foremost, and I'll find a place maybe here. And I looked and I looked, left and right. I looked around and I saw this. Well, it's not here now. This used to be a villa, and it was a it was a travel agency. It was a travel agency, and what I did was I just got this feeling when I was walking by that it could be a hospitable place. It was a huge villa, and it's not there, of course, now. It's a hotel. And so I walked in. I asked the guys, they were from Holland. I said, hey, you guys have this big place. Maybe you have an extra room or something in there. And they said, yeah, it just so happens that we were gonna put out an ad, but we didn't get around to it yet. Well, Facebook wasn't even invented then. But what I was gonna say is, don't use Facebook or websites or agents as your first go-to method. Look around first. The moral of the story is, go and ask around, go and look around. Don't, even now, this is more than 15 years later. Yeah, it is. It's more than 15 years later. You got to hit the pavement and look around. Look at for rent signs up in the windows. Ask people. Go into businesses. Ask them, do you know someone renting something around here? And everybody, if they're Cambodian, everybody knows somebody here. So in this case, they were foreigners. I stayed there for a year, I think. I had a studio. I had a small studio making my movie studio was down in the lower area here. I don't know if you could see it now. Yeah, you can't. It's just a hotel now, or a residence. But I had a small studio in there on the ground floor. I'll try to find pictures. All of that for $90 a month. And
The only caveat was internet back then was terrible. It was really slow, very expensive. Broadband was $80 a month. And at one point I was sharing the broadband connection with the travel shop, and they had to withdraw it. They had to take it away from me because it was costing them too much money to share the broadband, the internet connection. So now, that was it. That was the OK Guest House and my first place here on Street 258. One of the old tuk-tuk guys remembered me. And let's hurry across. So the moral of the story is, don't just rely upon published resources to find your apartment. Either here in Phnom Penh or Siem Reap, because I lived in Siem Reap too, or for that matter in Bangkok. I'll tell you about my Bangkok days on another episode. This is part one of my history of apartments and permanent living in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, starting with 2005. And again, I'm Mr. J, taking us down this trip down memory lane. And the moral of the story here on Street 258, hit the pavement, go in, ask people, ask around. You could find a place through a printed or a published online resource. I found my current place I'm living at on Street 244, just across the park. So the place I'm living at, just to get your bearings, is over there on Street 244. And where we were just at is over here on Street 258. And this is Wat Botum Park. I sing out there. Sometimes on weekends I sing Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Ella Fitzgerald, Bobby Darin, down there at the Hang Mia's bird, Hang Mia statue. Sundays sometimes, under my stage name of Robert Marleigh.
This is a Dean Martin number. Your eyes are blue, your kisses too. I never knew what they could do. I can't believe that you're in love with me.
But that's about it. I'm gonna head back now, and we'll catch some video on the way back. All the best.
Oh, they blocked it off again. You used to be able to cut through here, through the children's playground, head back to my place that way, but no dice. Someone's got their chickens. Hey, how you doing? Okay? Hey guys. How are you? Yeah. Quite a nice colorful playground here. I come here to do pull-ups sometimes. So I guess this turns into a mini tour of Wat Botum Park also, because this is Wat Botum Park that we're at. Okay. Yeah. Cafe? She's got it. She's got the cafe today. This is my regular coffee shop. 2,000 real for a nice iced coffee. Basically a trailer. So these are unregulated shops. I mean, no one has not the small shops. They don't have licenses. They just set up shop. Oh, and there it is. Good. 2,000 real. Right? 50 cents. Here you go. Delicious. And there's a really nice mural up here of classical Cambodia singers, well, singers from the classic pop period. Sen Sen Samuth, Ross Ray Socia. What's the other one now? I forget her name. Here it is. Sen Sen Samuth. Oh, Ron Penn, I think is her name. I took an album photo, a promotional photo in here, a series of photos for my alternative rock persona, the Gone Marshall. I'll put a link down below to that music.
Postcards, life has teeth, sometimes it bites too hard. Hyacinth, why won't you let me in? Hyacinth, why won't you let me in? And the sun will rise, and the earth will spin. True love never dies, just burns and burns within.
Anyway, we're back.
Just about back. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Lots of good beer inside here, right? I made a funny video here about their bar cat. They have a bar cat that's very funny.
The cat is one of the most successful animals on planet Earth, occupying forests, jungles, and even snow-capped mountain ranges. One of the most overlooked but clever creatures is a subgenus of cat known as the bar cat.
Okay, see you later. There's my cat. Hey, bro. Come on over, man. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.